stand up. Make on the beat. Trap boys out doubling up on bricks. For positions like myself that was blessed with the gifts. Rap on the package, see what it is. Swerving the traffic like I lost control of the whip. Hurt the competition like I ran over these bricks. Double lines mean nothing when you're hugging the bridge. Red light, green light, headlight, heat bright, right. Superstar light, make these lanes ain't right. Fabulous flow, make the girls say nice. So rock cups full to the party break play. Cross these doors to the cab in sight. On to the next like Jay said, right? Swag too slick, make a hater wanna bite. Now that it's in the boy, put your grit to my life. Like boy, nothing to lose. I'm on the mic, get the beats get bruised. The cat look calm like I never made a move. They go on the beat, pack a hammer in his teeth. These boys all brittle, tried up raps. I never move cripple cause I got 2 feet. Provided my own meals, boy, nobody's bad. The grind is impeccable, I've been chasing decimals. Now it's like me and the money is inseparable. Catch the passion that I'm sending to you. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. I've been through it. But I've been spewed. Now I feel like a champ, bitch. I'm undisputed. Thought I conquered the whole game. The hustle never too late. Fuck still remember my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing out there? Welcome to Talk Your Wish Tuesday. I'm your host, Dennis Holmes. I'm here with my co-host, Ron Thomas, in the building.
What's up?
All right, man. But listen, we got a special show going on with us today. All right. We also got, our regulars here on the building. We got our favorite lady, the Chocolate Girl, a.k.a. Did You Hear What Chocolate Said, a.k.a. Don't Mess With My Steelers. Miss Sharon Moan is in the building. How you doing, baby?
Doing pretty good today. Fighting that same fight, but I'm here. I'm good. I'm sitting upright for a little while anyway.
All right. We also got the most hated Dallas Cowboys fan in the building. That's right. He is also a movie star. Ladies and gentlemen, King Czar is in the building.
What it do? Let's get it in like Flynn, baby.
All right. We also got our favorite New Yorker, the sports guru. If you've been on the rail lines in New York, you know who I'm talking about. Mr. Damon Hargraves is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Clap it up for him. He like family now.
Hargrove.
Thank
you, Miss Mullen. You always correct them. You always got my back. Thank you. New York in the house. New York in the house.
Yes. We got some special guests here, though. We have a Jets fan straight out of New York, my guy Sal. Sal, tell them exactly what your podcast name is.
So my podcast is called Sportsinthebigapple. I basically talk all New York sports, Jets, Giants, Yankees, Mets. Excited the baseball season finally got started. The draft is coming up. Some huge needs, obviously, we're going to talk about for the Jets. Rangers and Islanders are both having pretty good years, so it's been fun. It's the Knicks are playing pretty well for once. They're kind of aggravating at times, but obviously the Nets are at the top of the league, so it's definitely an interesting time in New York sports.
Okay, all right. We also have E on the mic, who is the Miami Dolphins fan. My guy E on the mic gave me one of my first actually interviews to explain exactly who I was. So this is my guy right here, E on the mic. E on the mic, let him know exactly who you are and where you're coming from.
What's going on, guys? I'm E on the mic. I'm from South Florida. I talk about some basketball and football. I talk mainly on the Heat and Dolphins, but I won't mind talking about anything else that's going on in today's world. E on the mic on TikTok and all platforms.
Okay. All right. We got my guy Blaze in the building. He is the Cincinnati Bengals fan that I know of. I think I only know two of them, but he's one of the ones that I know of. And he's been around with me for a couple years, always supporting. Blaze, tell him where you from, Blaze.
Yeah, we do exist. Us Bengals fans are out there, very few and far between. But I'm in California right now, but I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas, home of Selena, home of Whataburger. I'm ready to talk some Bengals. I'm ready to smack all your team's asses next year too.
Okay, all right. And last but not
quarterback
least,
right.
We got my guy straight out of Las Vegas. My favorite DJ from Las Vegas, my guy Fred. You understand what I'm saying? The 49ers fan. Fred, let him know where you're from and what's going on with you, man.
All right, well, live in Las Vegas, grew up in New Mexico. If you try to match my geography with my fandom, you're gonna be lost because like I say, I'm all about that Niners. The Niners, I'm Imperial. Hockey, baseballs, Tampa Bay, college footballs, Michigan. So yeah, I'm all over the board with that. NBA, never had a team in the NBA. I follow Larry Johnson, so he's the Hornets and then the Knicks, and then it was all about Kobe for 20 years, and now it's just the NBA exists, but yeah, I don't really mess with it. So yeah, but
man,
with the draft coming up, I'm Imperial. What'd you say?
Okay. All right. There's a lot of people out here that just love the game, ain't got fans. You know what I mean? Things happen. I just want to yes, last week we did the Jaguars, and they took Sunshine. Sunshine. I don't care about his name. They took Sunshine as their first pick, and now we got the Jets here, who has the second pick. And I want to know, Sal, from you, exactly who do you feel as though you want to draft in this draft?
I feel like obviously the Jets now with the trade of Sam Darnold. Obviously, so that quarterback debate is: are they going to keep Darnold? Are they going to draft somebody? Obviously, that's kind of put to bed. Obviously, they're drafting a QB, and I think the QB, the pick is going to end up being the guy that's kind of been on most mock boards to the Jets. I think it's going to be BYU's Zach Wilson. The big knock on Zach Wilson is that BYU's schedule is not great, especially when you compare it to Justin Fields. But I mean, people talk about the lack of competition. Look at how Josh Allen has developed for Buffalo. So I think that Zach Wilson could be something similar to that. I think with Mike LaFleur coming in as the OC, a guy who comes from the Kyle Shanahan offense of running a lot of play action, I think that's something that Zach Wilson's going to do extremely well. But at the end of the day, it's about building around him. So if you're going to invest in another young QB, don't do to him what you did to Sam Darnold. You got to build up the offensive line, give him some weapons, and give him a good coach, which obviously I think they did. I think they did great with Robert Saleh, but Zach Wilson is my pick at number 2.
Hey, I just want to yes, y'all did excellent with Robert Saleh. I've literally never had a problem with the Jets, never disliked the Jets until y'all took Rob from us, which I'm not mad because he definitely deserved his opportunity. And then when y'all messed around and traded Darnold, because we traded up to get the number 3 pick, and I'm like, all right, cool. Obviously the Jazz are most likely taking Lawrence, so that puts the whole rest of the field up there for us. Then y'all traded Darnold. I'm like, damn, y'all about to take another quarterback. So the Jets, y'all on thin ice with me right now. Y'all keep messing up.
Well, if that's the case, you did move up to 3. And I told this to a lot of people, Marcus Betts especially. I said, if the 49ers took the draft picks from the Miami Dolphins, why wouldn't they have called the Jets first if they just sent their defensive coordinator there to be the head coach? Obviously, the Jets are gun-ho on picking a quarterback. I said this to Marcus a month ago, and he told me that they wasn't picking a quarterback. As you can see, they traded Sam Darnold. Now everybody knows they're picking a quarterback. I told him this a month ago. But you being a 49ers fan, y'all move mountains, and y'all known for smoke screens during the draft. A lot of people don't know what I mean when I say smoke screens. I'm more talking about the year that they told everybody they was getting Mitchell Trubisky and had the Bears move up and shanked them and went and got Solomon Thomas. And then last year they had everybody thinking they was gonna pick Tristan Wirfs, and they shanked them, and then went and got the left tackle Washington football team. So I'm gonna let you go ahead. You tell us who you getting at 3.
All right. In my Eminem voice, I got a list. Here's the order of the list that I'm saying. If it's me, I want Justin Fields first, Trey Lance second, Zach Wilson, and then Mac Jones. That's the order. That's my wish list. Most of what I've been hearing is a lot of with Kyle and John being enamored with Mac Jones, which I don't like, but I do like, as you just said, smoke screen. Hopefully that's just a smoke screen. They're throwing everybody off. And as Sal said, if the Jets take Zach Wilson, then I'm good with that. Again, I want Justin Fields personally. And we're talking from the organization. I really don't think it matters because whoever we take is in a great spot. Normally, you a top 5 quarterback, you go into either a garbage team and or a garbage organization. Our roster is loaded. We still got a championship caliber roster. So whoever we bring in is going to have the luxury of, if they do have to play early, you've got weapons around you. You're not going to be in a situation where you have to go out there and do it all yourself because you got an organization around you. And if if they play late, like I say, going with Jimmy and then, things like that, then they're in a situation where they can sit and learn and soak in Kyle's offense. So whoever we take is in a great situation with us being such a good team and moving up such a high pick. The reason I want Justin Fields, I've always liked mobile quarterbacks, going back to, Cunningham, Steve Young, the love that Michael Vick got, but not really getting. And then like all these guys now we talk about, and I'm like, y'all realize that the difference is that these guys don't really have the same governor that Michael Vick and Randall Cunningham, a lot of these guys had, where it was like, no, suppress your God-given talents and stay in the pocket because that's what we think a quarterback should be. Whereas you got guys like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, things like that. It's like, hey, do what you do. So, and then also I look at our division, like we got to chase Russell Wilson's little ass around twice a year. Now we got to chase Kyler Murray around twice a year. I'm like, hey, how about we make some of them chase around Justin Fields twice a year? So that's my wish list. I want Justin Fields first, if not Justin Fields. I really like Trey Lance. Zach Wilson, again, the knocks, like you mentioned, with his schedule and things like that. And then with Mac Jones, there's just nothing, like, he just doesn't excite me as a fan. Like, is he a solid quarterback? Yes. But then you also got to think, like, how much of the success was Mac Jones and how much of it was just Nick Saban's juggernaut, to where you could literally put anybody in the backfield for Alabama and you pencil in for the championship game. So for me personally, as a fan, I want Justin Fields.
Okay. All right. Justin Fields, it's not a bad pick. It's not a bad pick at all. With the 4th pick in the NFL draft, Ryan Thomas selects.
I will trade down. I will trade down to pick up more draft picks. We need all the help we could get with our defense and O-line.
Okay. Okay, not bad. But what if nobody trades you?
Well, you can't say that because Denver offer us.
You can't say that. I've been to a draft where a team waited to the last minute and didn't get to what they wanted.
Denver offer us the first, the second, and the third. Then Dallas offer us 3 draft picks.
That's what you say.
That's what I know.
Prove it.
No, but y'all ain't accept none of them though.
No, not yet, because we not playing checkers. We playing chess.
Man, y'all been playing Scrabble.
Playing backgammon.
So, like I said, this is my thing, okay? We're not talking about the Dallas Cowgirls.
You are talking about the Dallas Cowgirls.
Then Minnesota offer us a lot of draft picks.
Okay.
And other teams.
Come on. There's a lot of teams offering a bunch of picks and they ain't doing nothing. That's crazy.
Like I said, we're not playing checkers. We playing chess.
Y'all gonna fuck around me playing table tennis.
Y'all gonna get checkmate. What y'all gonna happen?
That's what's gonna fuck around. Y'all gonna fuck around me playing table tennis.
Let that man have his picks, y'all. Let the man alone.
But just in case, everybody offered you everything, you didn't take it. So obviously you gun ho on the pick. So just in case you gun ho on the pick, who you picking?
Trey Lance.
Thought you told me, hold on. We just had this conversation. You said y'all were not taking a quarterback.
Bizarre. Well,
he said if he had to take the pick.
Not Dallas. Okay? You worry about Dallas. I got Atlanta. Okay?
Thank you for taking my advice.
He's got holes.
This Atlanta, not Dallas.
Right. You switch your tune though. You say what you want.
With the fifth pick.
Can I
go ahead,
real quick? I just want to go back to Sal real quick. Sal, can you tell me why Zach Wilson wasn't voted a captain for BYU?
I think that's something that honestly, as you saw last year, Joe Douglas went with a lot of captains, so I think that's honestly a great point.
Because isn't the quarterback supposed to be a leader? Isn't the quarterback supposed to be a leader?
That's true.
It's suspect.
Okay.
It is suspect.
That's true. And coming off a year, or one of the knocks on Darnold is he kind of seemed like a quiet guy. Probably Joe Douglas is probably hoping one of two things is happening. Either one, the Jets are, because here's the thing. I've always heard the media has no idea what's going on with Joe Douglas. He is, a tight-sealed guy. So either A, they're just trying to fool everybody and they're going to pick Justin Fields, or they really like what they see from Zach Wilson and I think he could develop into that leader. But yeah, definitely an interesting point. Definitely coming off a year in which, they picked up all these captains in the draft. I think Ashton Davis was a captain at his school.
Okay, Sal, I just want to tell you something. You don't develop leaders when it's already 20-something years old. Okay, you're either born a leader or you become a leader as you grow up, and he's grown up already. So that's a red flag for me. But we'll see. Obviously the draft is coming up.
We'll see.
I just want, as the Jet correspondent, I needed to ask you that question. All right, thank you.
I just want to say this: the knock on Sam Darnold should have been the fact that he came out of USC. Who was the last USC quarterback that was good in the NFL?
Carson Palmer
and all that stuff, like
Carson Palmer.
Yeah,
Carson Palmer.
And Carson Palmer. And again, how long ago was that? And Carson Palmer was good.
But he was decent. He was decent.
He was good.
He wasn't like
he was decent.
Very good.
But
Until he got hurt.
I want to ask you something.
Wait. You said he was very good. Then why is it that nobody between Boomer Esiason and Andy Dalton had back-to-back winning seasons? Not even Carson Palmer. Not playoff appearances or division champions, just winning seasons. That's 9 wins. That's mediocre.
Well, okay.
Good.
I'm going to answer your question now. When you got to face Pittsburgh, when you got to face Baltimore twice a season, come on, man.
Okay, so then that's what you mean is you step your game up into where people in Pittsburgh are saying we got to face him twice a year. People in Baltimore are saying we got to face him twice a year. So that division is a monster, but that's why you got to go in there and compete.
Yeah, but in his third year, he was 2005. He got drafted, I think, 2001. 2003, 2005. He was primed for a Super Bowl. They were the favorites in the AFC. First play of the game against Pittsburgh, he gets hurt. You can't control things like that. But the team was stacked. TJ, Chad, but the whole 90s, you got to throw the whole 90s away because the whole 90s, for 30 years we haven't had a playoff win, so that's an organizational, issue. If for 30 years, so like Boomer, since Andy, all these guys, they can't build the team. They don't know how to build a team. So he got frustrated. He tried to help out. He tried to voice his opinion, and the owner didn't take it. Now they're doing things a little bit differently in Cincinnati. But when Carson was there, that's why he said, "I'd rather retire than come back to the Bengals." So
I'll upgrade him to good. Very good. Birds are great.
I'll take it.
The argument convinced me. I'll throw a very in there.
Okay, very. I'll take it. Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Well, Cincinnati does have the 5th pick in the draft. And we
So
would
we
like
got-
to know what are y'all
Yeah.
doing with the 5th pick?
All right, so I'm gonna say a couple things before I get to the pick. There's only 2 quarterbacks I have that I think are slated for the top 2 picks. That's, of course, Trevor Lawrence and Fields. I can't understand why people are putting Wilson in this number 2 spot. He had a great year, but you go back to the year before, or even coming out of high school. I mean, Lawrence and Fields are ranked number 1, number 2, vice versa. One spot had Fields number 1, one spot had Lawrence at number 1. I mean, he went to Georgia and then goes to Ohio State. I mean, the guy is just, his potential is out of this world. And he had a rough playoffs this year, but he got hurt. I mean, he put it all on the line, and he kind of reminds me of Hurts, what's the guy, the gentleman that was talking about, like, the leadership. Yeah, the leaders aren't they're not built, they're born, and that's why I like Hurts. That's why I like Fields, because these guys are going to take that chip on their shoulder and they're going to use it. And I mean, I could see one of those 2 guys winning the championship in the future because of that moxie that you just can't find that. And so those are my only 2 quarterbacks I would even take in the top 5. But now we're on the clock at 5 and we're in a prime position because 4 quarterbacks just went. We have a huge need at offensive line. So we got Penny Sewell sitting there at 5, but we are flirting with the idea of, I mean, we drafted Joe Burrow last year. Who was his number 1 receiver? Jamar Chase. So the smart pick is Penny Sewell, but like I said, the Bengals organization does not make the smartest picks. And so I'm taking the sexy pick, and I'm going Jamar Chase at 5.
Whoa! There's the shakeup. There's the shakeup.
Mhm.
Whoa!
Yeah, and I
Sure.
love Penny Sewell. I am the biggest Penny Sewell fan, but I never even thought we'd be in a position to draft Penny Sewell last year or Jamar Chase, because going into the year, I had Sewell as my number 2, Lawrence 1, Sewell 2, Chase 3, Parsons and Fields were in my top 5 as well. So
Pitts is number 2. Pitts is the second best
Well,
player
now.
in his draft.
Well, we're talking about now, but I'm talking about going into the year. That was my top 5, and so
If y'all don't take Sewell and you take Chase over Pitts, I'm laughing.
you can laugh. We'll laugh all the way to the bank because
No, you won't.
we will, because I mean, we're closer to an elite receiver group to a good O-line. So I'd rather have an elite position than to add a guy to a line that's still going to be shaky. So I mean, yes, I mean, he'd be a great pick, but also he's 20. He's got some flaws. Like, it's not going to be overnight success. I mean, and Joe Burrow got hurt because of offensive line last year, you could say, but also we had quarterbacks in very good years. Carson Palmer in 2005, like I just mentioned, got hurt with a very good offensive line. Andy Dalton, when he was making his playoff push, his MVP caliber season in 2015, had a good offensive line with Andrew Whitworth and some monsters on the line. He got hurt. So, I mean, just because you have a good offensive line does not mean you're protecting the quarterback. So I'm taking Chase. I'm fixing the offensive line. I'll spend picks 2 through 5, 6, 7. I'll spend the rest of my picks offensive line, but I'm not going to find a talent like Chase this year, next year, because I'm not going to be in that position in the top 5 to take a receiver of that caliber. So we're taking Chase. We're not even upset.
Okay. All right. That was a shakeup. Sharon, you got the comments?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Comments. Here we go.
That was the shakeup of the draft.
I just saw something from Ada, but now I
Wide
can't see.
receiver over O-line.
Okay, so somebody said, Jared Mueller said in comparison to Justin Fields, who literally wrote the petition and mailed it in that got Big Ten football to happen. That's what he said. And
Back.
he always brings it up. I don't know why, but okay. And DeJuan Talley was asking, what's your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence? I guess he wants everybody to talk about their thoughts on Trevor Lawrence. Jared Mueller also said, there goes that position at a university narrative. Keo BMG said, who do you guys have as the biggest bust in the draft? DeJuan Talley said, who was the best quarterback of the 2000s? Chuck Thomas said, Carson took Cardinals to the NFC Championship game. Shout out to Kellen Kane Lane, who said, hashtag Allentown, hashtag Bills Mafia, hashtag Buffalo Kids, we the best. I guess he wanted us to know that. And Kellen said y'all need playoffs teams on the show. I don't know what that's. I guess that's to you, Dennis. And Chuck Thomas said Andy Dalton had no coach, 6 straight playoff appearances, and no game plan. And Ada Cruz said, "Oh, Trevor is going first pick." And Chuck Thomas said, "No kidding." And then Trevor Lawrence is going to get drafted with his first pick. Okay, somebody else said that too. And
Some exclusives on
Chuck Thomas said the Bengals better take an offensive tackle. And so did Dalton Smith. He said the same thing. Ada Cruz said Fields will not be as good in the NFL. Juke Ellington said Patriots moving up to take Fields with a question mark. He's asking. And what is that? And then let me see. What's up, Ricky Bobby? Why won't he be in the right system? I'm not sure who he was talking about. But Jay Jones said, "Yo, Czar, your background art is fire. A and K all the way." Chuck Thomas said good. Falcons not trading to take picks, to take Pitts. I guess y'all know what that means. And then
Pitts, to
take Pitts, the player, yeah. Then Ada said the Bengals need every great player they can to even think about the playoffs.
Look who talking.
Chuck Thomas said Bengals fire the coach, please. Chuck Thomas said that the Bengals need to fire their coach.
True.
And
agree.
Don't read that. Don't read that what Chuck just said. Don't read that.
Okay, I won't read that. Okay. Ricky Bobby said, I actually think that Fields can do well in the NFL. And Juke Ellington said that was what their prior statement was in reference to Fields not being good in the NFL.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right. I understand that.
Can I ask my man Blaze a question?
Does everybody want to answer? Does everybody want to answer their thoughts on Trevor Lawrence? That was a question that was on the wall.
You go first.
I mean, I could just tell them, whoever wanted to know the answer to Trevor, even though we did talk about Trevor last week, you go check that out on YouTube. And the Think of Podcast on YouTube, you'll see it there. Talk Yours Tuesday. We talked about Trevor last week because that was the first pick. But I mean, we really feel as though that Trevor, a lot of us feel as though Trevor is going to be not as good as he's supposed to be, in all honesty.
Trevor Lawrence, Rookie of the Year, Jacksonville will make the playoffs in his first season.
You bugging.
That's a bold statement.
My man Blaze, I got a question
what's up?
for you.
Yes, sir.
First of all, first thing I'd like to make a statement. I think that, you're a little bit off when you say, just because you have a good offensive line doesn't mean you're going to get hurt. Yeah, of course, there's been cases where quarterbacks have gotten hurt with good offensive lines. But let me tell you, if you have a bad one, that increases tenfold. So that's the first thing. So to me, if I was Bengals, I would draft Sewell. Okay, the second thing, I got a little trivia question for you. You're about your boy Burrows. Who beat him out at quarterback in his first college?
Haskins.
Okay, yeah. A lot of people were talking about Fields getting beat out at Georgia, but the fact that Burrow got beat out by Dwayne Haskins doesn't look too good. But that's why I always feel like Haskins does have great potential, but he came into two spots that neither coach wanted him. So I hope that he gets a chance with my girl Sharon Steelers. I don't know how she feels about that, but I really think that he does have potential, but that's just me.
Too.
No, I totally believe that too. I believe that 100%.
Terrible.
Go ahead, Fred.
Well, Damon, can we please not? Because if y'all was paying attention, I said I was a Michigan fan, and Justin Fields is just another reason why Jim Harbaugh need to be fired. I know they ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about, but that's a perfect thing for my spirit. Can somebody please fire Jim Harbaugh, please?
He just got an extension. You just signed him to an extension.
I know, and I'm like,
all I'm saying is you might as well get your khaki pants and start putting them on yourself.
Well, like my man said, you got Joe Burrow, literally everything college last year, couldn't even see the field at Ohio State. And, you know what? I'm gonna pray.
But y'all had Shay Patterson. Y'all had Shay over there.
Shea Patterson and Wilton Spade and exactly. And meanwhile, Ohio State got a stable full of the same dude. Like if you take Jersey, they had the one dude, I can't forget his name, the bigger guy. Aside from him, every quarterback Ohio State had in the Urban Meyer era is the same dude. Take the number off the bat. They all live Braxton Miller, JT Barrett, blah, blah, blah. Just one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. And I'm like, Jim Harbaugh, where are you going on your recruiting trips, buddy? Where are you going? Because maybe you should be going wherever Urban's going, because he is finding them.
He needs to be going wherever Deion going right now.
But I would argue that Braxton Miller,
he needs to be going wherever Deion going. And Deion said, I don't like this person. He needs to be right there to scoop him. That's where he needs to be going right now.
He needs to go back to high school.
Eddie George. Eddie George going to be there to scoop him. And meanwhile, Jim Harbaugh going to be looking for dudes that we can develop in 2 or 3 years, not realizing in college, no, you are a Heisman finalist as a freshman player. You don't get those 2 or 3 years to develop anyway. I just had to get that
my bad. It was the big house. That was the big house rant right there. The big house rant. On the mic.
Finally,
you have to explain how you have shooken up the NFL draft here, on the mic.
Gosh.
Thank you.
What made you accept the trade from Fred, first of all?
From the 49ers, we got one of the selection, we got future first-round picks from the 49ers. That's a good deal for us, especially in case Tua doesn't work out for us. We can choose another quarterback in next year or so. It just depends. We never know. But I still believe in Tua at the same time. Or we can develop with our future at the same time. But that wasn't the only move we did. We traded with your Philadelphia, Dennis, at the same time. We moved back to 6 to make it closer. So we did give the first round to the Philadelphia, but we get to move to number 6 at the same time. Now, there's also rumors that we hear that somebody may trade for the Dolphins to go back, things like that. But I don't think we should trade back for number 6. I feel we need some offensive weapon for Tua, because you look at the offense of last year, our offense was horrendous. It was pretty much our defense was carrying us throughout the year, those winning to get 10 games win. Okay. It was pretty much Fitzmagic at times helping us, because we had a bench Tua at the Denver game, for example, the Raiders game, for example, twice, and we needed those offensive weapons. But then the 6th pick, which I'm surprised no one got Kyle Pitts from the Bengals, nor the Falcons. I think Miami should go for Kyle Pitts. Although he's a tight end, I know we have Gesicki. I understand that. But at the same time, Kyle Pitts is a dual threat down the field. I'm just saying. Or we can get Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith, I know he's a skinny dude, but he's very fast as well. He's a Heisman winner for a reason. I know he's skinny. He's not the average wide receiver you're looking for. But at the same time, he's very speedy. I'll go with either two, but for me, I would really like in favor of Kyle Pitts more than Devontae Smith. I'll be happy with either or, but I would love Kyle Pitts more than Devontae Smith in this year's draft for the number 6 spot. I know a lot of people may disagree on me with Kyle Pitts at number 6, but it could be a great duel for Tua. It can make very dangerous situation, especially since we have a lot of injuries with Devontae Parker history, Preston Williams, and Will Fuller that we additionally added in free agency. So I think Kyle Pitts could be a good answer. I would still say Devontae Smith's still a good answer, but I'll say Kyle Pitts at number 6 should be a nice steal for Miami.
I like the Pitts pick at 6. I would not like Devontae Smith going at 6.
Nah, I think Pitts is the best.
But I never got to answer the question earlier about the offensive line, so I'm just going to answer real quick. Offensive line, you asked me a question earlier, Damon. Sewell, he's a beast, and he would definitely. I wanted Sewell for the longest time. I literally just switched up. I'm a big Sewell guy. I'm worried about the Bengals because we have a guy, Jonah Williams, we drafted a couple years ago out of Alabama. He's kind of undersized. He's our left tackle. He's played 8 games in 2 seasons. I always felt he was better as a guard, and they're sticking at him with tackle. And so I like the idea of Sewell coming in, playing guard, transitioning to tackle. I don't have that much faith with the Bengals developing offensive line and then I think it's going to take time. I like Sewell, the prospect. I think he's better suited somewhere else, but I know we can work receivers. I know, that I think it'll be a more immediate impact. Than the Sewell pick, and that's why I picked Chase. And I feel that we can get offensive line in later rounds. That would be right.
Supposedly, I'm not sure who they are, but supposedly this draft is rich in offensive linemen. So you might be correct in that regard. But I just think that you don't even really have a backup quarterback at this point. So, you know, and I'm really, I don't think Burrow's going to be ready at the start of the season. And if he is, that's a mistake. No one comes back from an ACL in 10 months or 12, 11 months, except for the running back they used to play for. Who is he? You know, what's the Vikings? Yeah.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
He's a freak, though.
Right. You know, he's a freak. So I just think that that's your franchise right now. You know, Burrow's your franchise. You know, that's just the way the NFL works. And if he's your franchise guy, you got to make sure that you protect him. I mean, you already got him in trouble last year. And it wasn't like he was scrambling or doing anything, because Burrow's a pretty athletic kid. I don't know how athletic, because if memory serves me correctly, I'm sure you would know, Blaze. He not only tore his ACL, but didn't he tear his the medial collateral ligament also, or something like that?
Yep, that is correct.
Okay, that's a very extensive damage to that knee.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, I mean, I might not start him right away. I'd still take Chase, but I might not. If Burrow's not ready, I think I'm gonna put him in his position, because there's no guarantee in round 2, 3, 4 that we're gonna get good value or get a offensive lineman. So it's taking a risk. But at the same time, we should not be trying to when you're drafting the top 5, you're not drafting for need. You don't have the right to draft for need. You got to draft the best player available, which I think is Sewell. I see the Chase Burrow connection. It's just, you know, it's an unusual opportunity. Opportunity.
I agree with you in this regard. You don't want to reach in the top 5. You cannot reach. That's just one thing you cannot do. You have to draft a great player or a great prospect, no doubt. I agree with you there.
I agree with you. We'll get back to Miami because you know, I had my time, so I want to hear more about the Pitts pick.
I actually want to know, do you really believe in Tua? Is that the real word down there in South Beach? Because that's what Brian, let's give him the eyes, Brian. Let's give him the eyes, Brian. Do you really believe in Tua? You know?
I'll give you the eyes too. Don't worry. I can play that too. It's all good. But really though, it just depends on which Dolphins fan you talk to. For me, I'm a believer in Tua. There's some people that wanted Watson, but of course, that cases with the 23 allegations, that's out the window now. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Which people were trying to get Watson, but at the same time, you just gotta believe in Tua. Remember, Tua was coming out of rehab from last year, and he wasn't supposed to come in there, but Flores pushed him out there to the field, honestly. But I feel he's done rehabbing. He's training now with his wide receivers and tight end. Just looking for example, Peyton Manning, first year, 3-13, was the worst quarterback in that league in 1998. Think about that one with the Colts. Okay. 3-13. He threw a lot of interception. Did everyone thought that he was gonna be a bust after the first year? I understand Tua went 6 wins. I understand that, but it's mostly from his defense.
Tua ain't no Peyton Manning, man.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying, for example, where everyone's throwing everything out there. I'm not comparing Tua to Peyton Manning. I'm just throwing it out there for an example of how
my
people.
question is this: is the sample size on Tua big enough to not believe in him? I'm like,
well, hold on. I'm AB. I'm going to explain that, AB.
See, that's what I was going to say.
Enough from Tua to be like, yeah, no. I'm like, I think
I'm going to explain all of that. I'm going to let y'all keep talking. AB, I'm going to explain that too, AB.
But Ethan, be honest. Do you think Tua is going to actually make it through an entire season next year?
Honestly, I'm legit hoping that he can, because
no. I'm not talking about hope. This ain't wishing on a star. Okay? I'm asking you, Ethan. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your last name.
Don't worry.
Do you think Tua can make it through an entire season? Yes or no?
Yes.
Come on,
I think so.
He couldn't even make it
believe so. Listen,
he couldn't make it through an entire season at Alabama.
That's a. Hey, you can say that about any quarterback. Do you think any quarterback?
No, but I'm just. You're right.
You can lose your season.
But I'm telling you, my point is, I'm telling you that Tua is brittle. That's my point. I'm not saying that Burrow is brittle. He tore his ACL. It happens. People get hurt every day. I agree with that. But I'm just saying specifically Tua. He's brittle. His whole his anatomy and everything. He's a brittle player. He's proven that in college. I mean, you can't dispute that.
I have a question, Ethan. I have a question, Ethan. Do you recall how many times Tua was injured in college?
He was injured a couple of times as I recall, especially the last game that he played with the torn ACL, where he got airlifted to the hospital. That I remember. I recall. I know all the injury history. I know everyone's saying about the ACL he got and the rehab and stuff like that. I've heard about Tua.
The hip
The
injury.
wrist, the hip, the injury.
I'm gonna say this.
It's a high risk, high reward type of reward.
I'm gonna say this. Sam Bradford was the same way coming out of Oklahoma, and I'm pretty sure Sam Bradford is meeting with a GM right now about to get re-signed again by somebody.
That's exactly who I was
we talking
thinking about.
Tua's upside and Sam Bradford's upside. If all them teams kept taking flyers on Sam Bradford, why shouldn't Miami take a flyer on Tua if we weren't about injuries? Because I guarantee
Sam Bradford's a bust.
Yeah,
done
you know
nothing.
why? Sam Bradford got hurt every 47 and a half days. But
So
yet
what?
every time you turn around, somebody finds Sam
Okay.
Bradford. So if they gonna keep taking
All right,
Sam
fellas.
Bradford, why not Miami take a flyer on Tua?
Fellas, let me
You gotta take a
read-
chance. That's why we
let
have
me-
draft capital.
let me read these comments.
We have draft capital to maybe get another quarterback in the future in case he doesn't work out at the same time.
Right.
So
I agree with
this
that.
is his year to prove it. Is he the right guy for us? Is he finally the quote unquote Dan Marino of Miami? Which I don't even think he will be closer to Dan Marino at all, but hopefully something can finally click for Miami Dolphins quarterback. It hasn't clicked since Dan Marino, really. Or if you want to put it recently, maybe Chad Pennington when they got the playoffs or
Ethan, you live in Miami, Ethan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. You guys, you got what do you other than alligators? What are you guys known for out there?
The beaches,
Pretty
naked
women and
women,
bitches.
crocodiles.
Well, that's true. You
The
definitely
sunshine,
thorns. You got me on the women. Well, my point
naked
is,
women.
if he makes it, if he proves to be your quarterback, the steak dinner is on the guru.
Oh, yeah.
No questions asked. Because I know you know in your heart, I know you know your Dolphins, and I know you know that Tua is not making it. You're
No.
going to be drafting a quarterback, or you're
Right.
going to be in the market for a quarterback after next season. Mark my word.
Me too. Agreed.
He's not gonna make it.
Sharon, I'm gonna let you.
I don't see
Sharon,
it, but-
I'm gonna let Sharon go, and then I'm gonna tell my side of the story about Tua.
I was gonna say I'm not really convinced that he's not gonna make it. But let me read these comments. Ricky Bobby said Trevor Lawrence is a lookalike. He's an actor who plays a quarterback. Ian Rochelle said Trevor Lawrence will be a bust in Jacksonville because it's Jacksonville. Ricky Bobby said Head and Shoulders just waiting to make a commercial with Trevor Lawrence. Head and Shoulders. Oh Lord. And then Anthony Lavelle said the Falcons will take Fields. We draft quarterbacks great high in the draft. Barkowski, Vic, Ryan. Corey Williams said Giants better take Kwity Paye. Is that his name? Kwity Paye?
Quit
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pass rusher.
Yuri Burrows said, what's up, everyone? I
So
hope
Yuri-
the Patriots take Justin Fields and trade up. I said F you of them, but we'll just keep going by that. Brian Thomas wrote in there, we need to trade down and fix the defense and on O-line. Ricky Bobby says, so how long before Tom Brady signs Julian Edelman? LOL. Juke Ellington said, I want the Jags to package that 25th pick to move up and get the tight end from Florida for Trevor's security blanket. Chuck Thomas said Dolphins taking Chase or Devontae Smith. Ricky Bobby said, I think what Miami did was genius. 6 is a good spot. Pitts would be great, but if someone goes way left field, they could trade back a couple of spots, get more capital, and still get their guy. Chuck Thomas says Slater is the latest rumor to the Bengals. Like Big Ten players got burned on Oregon player before Achilles Smith. Chuck Thomas said Burrow out till week 6, I bet. So in other words, he's not going to be ready for the beginning of the season. Yuri said, I feel like the Chargers should go after Pitts or Slater or Darrisaw. Chuck Thomas said Devin White drafted number 5. Barry Price said Howie moved back so he can reach. Dalton Smith said Dolphins getting Devontae Smith. Chuck Thomas said Dennis needs to do that and say, do I really believe in Hurts? LOL. Chuck coming for you, Dennis.
All day.
And then Dalton said, get ready, bro. It's going to be Dennis Hurts. He called you Dennis Hurts. Chuck said Deshaun Watson has had 4 knee surgeries. What's the point here? That's a good point. Russell and Kyle. Juke said Russell and Kyle ain't that big. Chuck Thomas said Oklahoma talk. Jared Muller said Bradford wasn't trash at all. He just kept getting hurt. That's the point, though, Jared. That's the point that he was making. Juke Ellington said Sam Bradford a bum, but was still getting big contracts. True. Chuck Thomas said Dennis loving this show. Sam Bradford. And then Yuri said Tua can be the guy as long as he can be healthy. Jared Muller said the only reason he kept getting contracts is because of his talent. Juke said, share that crack you smoking. And Jared said Jacksonville has a very good offense to put around them. Anthony Lavelle asked who's taking a running back. It's the Steelers, Anthony, but they don't pick till 24, so nobody wants to talk about them. And then Corey Williams said Kwity Paye is the best pass rusher in the draft. That's comments.
All right. Here's my
Tua
thing.
the Lieutenant Eddie Dalton.
Here is my thing on Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, I know I messed it all the way up. But I tried.
I told you how to say that, Dennis.
Okay.
I tried. I tried to do it. Anyway, here's my thing on Tua. I like Tua. I was big on Tua. Big fan of Tua's. And then I started to like see him grow. He was starting to grow. The Arizona game, when him and Kyler Murray went at it, I was like, okay, maybe Miami got their quarterback. But when they started doing that, taking him out in the fourth quarter to put Fitzmagic in, it's like it was kind of like that movie Get Out. You started to see just the statue of him, but his soul wasn't in. And that's what I think has happened. And then I started to go back and think of things. I was like, is Fitzmagic a bridge quarterback? And I was like, well, what quarterback has Fitzmagic helped become better? I don't know about y'all, but I couldn't think of one. And I said to myself, a Fitzmagic may be the guy that may just killed his career. Hopefully it comes back, but I believe Fitzmagic has killed Tua's career and it's gone. Maybe, he get his soul back, maybe, I don't know.
Out of the second place.
I mean, what you think? You think he just took his soul or something? What do you think he did?
Fitzmagic, that's his thing. He's not there to help your quarterback become better. He's there to take his job, and they don't become better. I haven't seen nobody that's developed under Fitzmagic. It's 20 people watching in the comments. If you know anybody that Fitzmagic has helped them better, please let me know. I don't know nobody that Fitzmagic has helped them make better.
Could be
you just
one.
like if you want your quarterback, if your quarterback goes out and he loses a game, let him lose the game. But you never destroy their confidence with the switch hitter thing. I've heard this from Kurt Warner himself. They tried to do this with Eli Manning back in the day when Kurt Warner played for the Giants. And Kurt Warner said, you never do that to a quarterback. You never destroy his confidence. If he threw 10 interceptions in the game, let him throw them.
Yeah, he
But
did.
do not switch him out and put me in.
Mm-hmm.
This is Kurt Warner told the head coach of the Giants at the time, which was what's the boy name? He was the GM of the Jaguars. What is his name?
Coughlin?
Yeah, Coughlin. Tom
Coughlin. Well, Corey Williams said that Tua is solid and he's the future of the Miami Dolphins. And he also said, you mean Ryan Fitztragic instead of Fitzmagic.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's all right. But I'm if anybody want to know, I'm still Jalen Holmes. Jalen Holmes is still my son. If anybody want to know that, all right?
We don't want to know that, Dennis. We don't care.
Let everybody know that. Now, Sal, you are a Giants fan too, Sal? You all the way New York?
I follow the Giants, not so much. More so Jets.
Okay.
To be honest.
All right. I just want to make sure.
I mean, yeah.
Y'all get y'all field fixed yet? Anybody do something about y'all turf?
The only team I heard complain about it. The only team I heard complain about it was yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't think there's a huge issue with the turf. It was just super suspect and coincidental that back-to-back weeks, but honestly, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it was just It was. I think it was just one. If we'd have gone like we'd have played like week 2 and then like week 9, it probably. But the fact that it was like week 2 and week 3, like, but yeah, anyway.
That was crazy. I mean, it was hard to watch, honestly. It's like because you want to beat a team at full strength. You don't want to, and the Jets weren't in that game anyways, but I mean, if I'm going to beat the 49ers, you want to beat the 49ers with Bosa on the field. You want to beat them with Solomon Thomas on the field. I mean,
Hey, Dennis, Aaron Bowles said, say his last name again. I need to record that.
Hey, I got to take off soon. I just want to throw a shot because I know my man, I think it was Blaze, you said earlier, like you don't reach in the top 5. That was you that said that, right, Blaze?
Yes, sir.
Who's the Cowboy fan on here? And tell me about y'all picking Ezekiel Elliott.
What about it? The leading rusher in the NFL since he's been in the league? What you saying?
That's not a reach.
What I'm saying is, how many playoff wins do y'all have with Ezekiel Elliott?
What's that got to do with Ezekiel Elliott? Does you go from a team?
Is your defense still suspect?
Are you jumping all over the place?
But I'm just
talking
saying,
about Elliott?
Y'all had a
talking
great
about our defense?
that draft. Your defense was garbage, and y'all took a
right. But you
back.
just said we reached for Elliott like he's a bust.
Yeah, because you took a running back to run behind the best offensive line in football since y'all had.
And he's the league leading rusher since he's been in the league.
Garbage, and y'all still ain't won nothing. Your defense is still.
But what's that got to do with Elliott being reached for?
Because
two different things.
All that production out of Ezekiel Elliott has not translated to wins on the field. So I was just wondering how you
let me ask this question.
We made the playoffs 2 out of 4
You want
years.
to throw that slug?
Hold on, fellas. When you say they ain't won nothing, what exactly are they supposed to,
At least like a playoff game, a couple playoff games. When you have the worst,
they won 2 playoff
games.
games.
Thank you. Get your facts right. Get your facts right.
Maybe win the worst division in football. Maybe win that. I don't know. Did y'all win a division this year?
You just said we didn't win no playoff games. Get your facts right.
Win some playoff games. Win a division.
Right, we did. We won 2 since he's been in the league.
Can I add something?
Pretty sure they built
in the same season, or was they spread out?
It was spread out.
2 years.
Did y'all not participate in the worst division in football this past season?
Last year, yeah, because we were all made.
But just like hold on. Just like you hold on to them 90. Just like you hold on to them.
Nah, that's the Bay Area though. Where you at?
We are the best. We are the best division in football.
Hold on, Frederick, where you at? You in
Whoa.
Hold on, Dennis, wait. I'm not talking about overall historically. I'm just talking about
we are the best division in football. You
y'all got a great. Historically, y'all have great franchises in that division. I'm just talking about this past season where y'all division was garbage, and Dallas still didn't even win it.
Hey Dennis, I think Frederick's out here where I'm at. That's what we do. We hate each other out here in California.
No, he in Vegas.
Are you in Vegas?
Oh, wait, hold on. I grew up in New Mexico.
Vegas ain't nothing but California light.
So yeah,
Vegas is California light.
You're right. True.
Dislike for me.
Yeah, we hate each other.
I just want to throw that shot out there before I leave. I just want to throw a shot.
That's all right. Get y'all a quarterback though, then holler at me. You're paying $100 million to bums, and you'll be all right.
Oh, wait! Can I add something? Just break off Dak Prescott?
Right, he's gonna be a great quarterback.
Even though he got outplayed by Andy Dalton, didn't y'all just give Dak
outplayed? What? Hold on. What? This man said he got outplayed by Andy Dalton?
Who won more games?
This man was the leading. Hold on. Do you know this man was the leading?
Mute his mic, Dennis.
2 weeks after he got hurt?
He about to leave anyway. Don't even
matter. Mute his mic.
He about to leave anyway. Don't even matter.
W's. How many wins? Because the only game they won, and no shade, Ron Thomas, I'm not picking on you, but that game that Atlanta gave away was the only win that Zach Prescott had.
Dude, what team?
I won the Washington game where he got hurt at, but the game was in question. So if it was a picture, he wouldn't have got the credit for that win. So how many wins did Zach Prescott have?
Hold on. What team wins
Andy Dalton was the only Dallas quarterback with a 3-game win streak.
What team wins a playoff game throwing 8 passes? Get that scrub out of here, bruh.
Whoa. You throw 8 passes when you have Raheem Mostert running his foot all up in
and then what happened when he had And what happened when he had to throw the ball the next game? Overthrowing open receivers.
Which game was that?
The Super Bowl.
Okay, the Super Bowl, exactly. That means wait. So that's 1 playoff win, 2 playoff win.
No, that's the defense and the coaching and the running game.
When's the last time y'all won 2 playoff
That's
games?
defense, coaching, and the running game.
1990.
That's Trent Dilfer over there, bruh. That's Trent Dilfer over there. That's defense, coaching, and the running game.
That's the last time
When
y'all
the last time y'all won
won.
2
Thank
games?
you.
I don't know what y'all arguing for. Both of y'all teams ain't done nothing since
It's
the
the
90s.
rivalry,
Thank
Dennis.
Oh, what
you.
y'all
Thank
arguing
you.
for?
The
I don't even know
rivalry.
what you're
Ain't,
arguing
ain't
about.
neither one of
Hey,
y'all
he
won the
brought
Super
it
Bowl
up.
since the 90s. So I don't know
He
what y'all
brought
arguing.
it up, bro.
This an argument on VHS. It's a VHS argument.
Let me add something though.
Come on.
Let me talk about Zeke real quick.
Wait a
Y'all
minute.
go
Hey,
to
wait
the
a minute.
next.
Let me
Hey,
say something real quick.
fellas. Chuck Thomas said there's a beautiful San Francisco sunset tonight. That's what Chuck Thomas said. I don't know what he mean by that. I guess y'all can feel that.
I tell you one thing. This was a straight to VCR argument right here. If y'all didn't
Well,
know
let me
that.
ask you about Zeke real quick. Look, can I say something real quick?
Rate the
Okay.
video.
So when the Cowboys took Zeke at 4, I think they had a defensive need, and I think a lot of people are putting Ramsey there, which would have been a great pick. But it kind of goes back to my pick about the chase over Sewell. Like Sewell would be an ideal pick, as is Ramsey at that time probably would have been an ideal pick. But Ezekiel Elliott behind that beast of a line they had, and the receivers I believe that they had at the time, and they were putting that offense together. So putting that piece of Zeke in there outweighed, trying to put one piece in a kind of broken down defense. You know
But
what I mean?
hold on, this is what kills me.
Blaze,
This
it
is
was
what
a no-brainer. It was a smart pick.
This is what kills me.
I
Hold on. This is what kills me though. It's when Zeke does well. Oh, he had this great line, but then everybody now all shitting on him because he has a bad year because we have no line or a quarterback.
No, that ain't the reason why I shit on him. Now, time out. That ain't the reason why I shit on him.
Not you. I ain't talking about you, Dennis.
He had fumble issues this year.
No, but I'm not talking about you. I'm
he
talking
had
about people
some fumble
saying he's
issues.
garbage and all
And
this.
The reason I dissed him so much was because everybody was talking shit like, oh, Dak ain't shit without Zeke. So I was like, okay, well, now Dak injured. Let's see what Zeke do. This motherfucker had fumble issues this year.
I agree with that.
To the ball.
No, I agree with that. But that don't mean he's garbage.
I ain't say it was garbage, though.
No, I didn't say you. I wasn't talking about you.
The #1 rusher in football. And I think y'all shipped him off to like Philly or something like that.
We can't hear you, Fred.
You gotta speak up.
We can't hear you, Fred.
It's for the best.
Fred.
It's for the best.
We can't hear you, Fred.
He's on his rant. You can't
the
hear
volume went down.
Your volume went down.
You put your suit on and your volume went down.
No.
Somebody said, thank God you took that jersey off.
Corey Williams said 26 years, 4 playoff berths, 2 wins, LOL. And Jared Muller said if they would have drafted any player other than Zeke, their team outcome would not have been any more positive to this day.
Thank you.
And he is correct, I believe. Buck Flair, Chuck Thomas said, what's up, Geo Blaze? What's up, Blaze?
What's up? Yeah, they got Giovanni Bernard. So we talked about that in the
Geo Blaze.
What up, Buck? What up, Buck?
That ain't a big deal.
And then Jared Muller said that's why you got to ask him who else they could have drafted that would have made a way bigger difference.
Right.
They said Ramsey.
And that ain't true.
I don't think he would have made a bigger difference behind that the way
No,
that team was set up. No.
The point I was making was that
Ramsey,
you know why I say that,
Ramsey's a great defensive player, though. I mean,
yeah, he is.
I'm
He
not
got
saying
Byron
that Zeke's
Jones,
not a great
who
player.
had one of the greatest
You're not
seasons.
listening, King Czar. You know why I say that, King Czar? No, we can't hear you. But this is why I say that, King Czar. Because in the second round, guess who was a running back available in the second round?
Jordan Howard?
No, Derrick Henry.
Okay, hindsight, I still like Ezekiel better.
I still like that Zeke.
You can't predict that either, though. You can't predict.
Don't check their numbers.
I don't like Zeke better than Jalen Ramsey.
What y'all talking about? Well, look at their numbers since they've been in the league. Go compare their numbers since they've been in the league, and I'll shut y'all up.
I don't like Zeke. They both got two rushing
Cowboys
titles.
haven't won a Super Bowl in 26 years. Say less. That's what he said to you.
You heard me, King Czar? They both got two rushing titles.
Henry was a bust like his first 3 years. Everybody was talking shit about Henry.
That's true.
No,
That's
people
true.
was talking about Henry after his first year.
Yes, not me. I like Henry, but I'm saying a lot of people were talking trash.
That's because he was sitting behind DeMarco Murray.
We can't hear Fred, so he said.
Fred just left. He said he had to go.
Fred said the only numbers that matter are wins. That's what he said.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Williams said the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in 26 years, so say less. That's what he said.
The Bengals have not won a playoff game in 30 years. So
Thanks for telling me
y'all talking
something.
about Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I'm trying to give me a playoff
Thanks
win.
for telling me something I didn't know.
Hey, and let me tell you something. I don't care how many wins or how many
Right.
losses or how long it's been since your team win. When you are a fan of your team, you're gonna rep your team.
Right.
And you
Yeah,
rep your team, Sal. You rep
Yeah.
the
Rep
Jets.
your team,
Don't
Sal.
let nobody tell you can't rep your Jets.
Don't let nobody tell you the
Get your
Jets.
New
Hey, don't let
Jersey.
nobody.
You go ahead and
I
you
gotta say,
Falcons. You rep them
I gotta
Falcons.
say,
Blaze, you rep them Bengals. I'ma rep my Steelers. You rep your Eagles. You rep your Cowboys. And Damon, you can rep whoever the hell you want.
Hold on, hey
And
Sal.
then eat on the mic. You rep
What's
them Dolphins. That is your team. Don't back down from nobody. Because I'm saying we haven't won a Super Bowl since what, 2010? But I'm
That's
gonna
because
rep
y'all
my
trash.
all day
Jets
long.
have
And
a-
I'm
Hey, hold on.
gonna talk my ish all I want.
Super Bowl
Right. Hey
three.
Sal.
Let somebody
Hey Sal.
let
What's
somebody
going
try
on?
to tell me not to talk about my Steelers.
Hey Sal.
Okay,
Don't let
hell,
trash
nobody
Steelers.
tell- Hey, don't let nobody tell you that the Jets are toilet boy doo-doos. Don't never let nobody tell you that.
No, I
You
won't.
come at
You know
them
what?
hard.
In response, I'll tell him Mark Sanchez 4-2 in the playoffs. I can't believe.
All right, that's right.
Jimmy G 2.0.
Now let me ask you this question though. Since
They
you
making
there,
me
Sal.
mad in these comments. They
do
gonna make
you
me go get
believe-
my terrible towel. I'm gonna go get my towel.
What
It's
do
gonna
you-
be over with.
What do you believe? What do you believe about Rex Ryan, Sal?
I definitely thought
Bring him
I
back.
thought he was definitely a change of culture type of guy. The Super Bowl parades was kind of that went a little bit too far for sure. I think that kind of got him in trouble. Him running down the sideline was definitely interesting when they beat the Patriots in the playoffs. He was running down the sideline. I think he got penalized for that. I think after Green scored the touchdown to really seal the game, but I thought it was good at first. I thought he brought a new change of culture, but I think it soured in the end. Kind of like how a lot of these Jet coaches go. You know, they make the playoffs first year, first couple of years for Rex Ryan, and then they kind of sour over. Same thing kind of happened to Todd Bowles. Made the playoffs his first year, then kind of soured out. Then kind of got exposed as, you know, not a great head coach. Adam Gase's a different story, but a lot of head coaches for the Jets make the playoffs the first year and then kind of fizzle out. So I think that's kind of what happened with Rex Ryan. But he was definitely very entertaining while he was here.
I like Rex Ryan.
I like Rex. I think he should be still coaching in the league.
I love Buddy Ryan.
Stop it.
love Buddy
No way.
Ryan.
Especially given some of these people that I see coaching now. Hell yeah, he should be coaching. Yeah.
Exactly. I agree with you on that one, Sharon. Anytime you take a guy named Butt Fumble, the 2 AFC championship games, at the same time that Bill Belichick is running the AFC, yeah, you're a good coach.
Yeah.
But you know, Dame don't believe that though. You know.
No, because how many chances you want to give him to coach? He failed in so many different places that you can't even give half these African American candidates a one shot.
Well, he only
giving
had
him
2
3
chances.
shots?
He only failed in one spot, and that was Buffalo.
When did he succeed, bro? He didn't succeed with the Jets.
With the Jets. And you see, time out. You've been in New York all your life. How many AFC championship games you seen the Jets in besides Rex Ryan?
Thank you.
Well, I don't know about AFC championship games, but I remember when I was at that rainy game when they had the tight end. Mickey? What was the guy? Mickey? The tight end you used to have, right?
Who?
Sal, I'm talking to you. Was it Mickey Shula? Was that the tight end we had?
Did he say
Shula?
Yeah.
Shula.
Wait, when?
Yeah, what year is this?
When the last time before Rex was a coach when we was in the playoffs, or the Jets was in the playoffs, when it was that rainy day prior to the.
Oh, you talk about when what you call him? Herm Edwards was coaching.
No, even before Herm.
Was Keyshawn on that team? Keyshawn Johnson?
No, before Herm. That I'm talking about. I'm 56 years old. Before Herm.
Before Herm Edwards?
Yeah,
about the Ken O'Brien days.
Yeah. Well, remember the playoff game we had in the rain? Well, didn't the Miami Dolphins not take the top off or something? Come on, you a Jet? You supposed to be a Jet fan, and you don't know that, Sal?
You're a youngster though.
He young. Sal young.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn your history, cuz. Come on now. Hey, I asked my man over there before about Burrow.
Hey, Guru. Hey, Guru, was that receiver Wesley Walker, or what was his name?
No, Wesley was on. I believe he was on that team, and Wesley was a very good wide receiver.
Yeah, he was.
Unfortunately, I think he's really ill right now as far as his health. I'm trying to think what disease he has.
I thought y'all was talking about Wayne Corbett.
Nah, the brother. Nah, this is way before that.
Oh, that's before my time.
I think his name was Mickey Schuler.
Mickey Schuler. Nah,
but y'all talk about how far did they go in the playoffs with Mickey Schuler?
I believe it was in the first or the second round. It was a rain.
Yeah.
I actually went to that playoff game.
Oh, okay. So you telling me they didn't beat the? So you telling me that Rex Ryan has had the most success?
He had the
most.
Joe Namath had the most success, but
Joe Namath as a quarterback, but that was in the what was that, the 60s and 70s?
70s.
Right. So since the 70s to 2008, when Rex Ryan got there, is the best that they've been. But he's not a head coach. Y'all killing me, man. Y'all really killing me. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna be now. His whatever he did in Buffalo, as if anybody did anything in Buffalo, but whatever he did in Buffalo is what he did in Buffalo. But
I thought he was a better coordinator, but I do think he was a good head coach.
No, y'all. Namath won in '69. Come on, y'all.
I knew it was 69,
not 70.
I thought it was like 70, 71, but yeah.
No, 69. Let me read these comments.
That's a good number.
Let me read these comments. Josh Bailey told me to talk my ish, so I did. Buck Flair said, been repping them Bucks since 78. Woo, Doug Williams.
Feel sorry for him.
Josh Bailey said that the Cowboys and the 49ers are still trash. Juke Ellington said, I hope Kellen Kane Lane is listening. Mr. If your team ain't make the playoffs, you can't talk. JC Howell said, how many field goals does it take the Steelers to win a playoff game? More than 9, that's for sure. And I don't really care about that. Buck Flair, oh, never mind. That's an inside joke. Let me see. Corey Williams said the Jets were 4-12 when Rex was fired. Kellen Lane said ain't nobody on the panel make the playoffs. And I said, and I wrote in there, Corey, but Ryan still took them to a NFC Championship game, though.
Two of them, though. Two NFC Championship games.
He sure did. So, I mean, whatever. And then Kellen said, do your research. And the Bread and Hova show, don't know who that is, said.
Jay Hova? Okay, Jay-Z.
Said enjoying this. The Falcons taking Kyle Pitts at number 4.
Tell him.
And hey, Guru, Sharon Cummins is in here. She says, "School him, Damon."
That's my ride or die. We do. I know it. Saturdays, and Sharon Cummins, boy, I don't know who's better, you or her. I'm gonna leave that.
I'm gonna give it to her. I'm gonna give it to her. I'm gonna give it to Sharon. What's up, Sharon?
I can't. Hey, no, I got love for both of you. You're both great, man. And I have a daughter that played sports, so I've always been, a guy that's always thought that women belong on this, this platform with men. So I really respect what you have done and what you have accomplished. I respect what you've done as a woman, a mother, and obviously as a sports fan. And Sharon, that's my ride or die. The other Sharon.
Well, it's good to see her in the comments. Thanks for watching, Sharon. Kellen said, are we talking about the Jets just in the season? And then Ethan said, F you, Dennis. I heard that comment you tried to slip in. Yeah, and JC Howe said Jim Kelly was a quarterback when the Bills had their best team. And who cares about the Bills? Why are we talking about the Bills? We don't care about
I'm trying not to.
Anyway,
I'm trying to stay with the Jets.
Barry Price said that Jets tight end was Mickey Schuler. That was the name.
He was right. That's what he said. He said.
And that's it. Buck Flair said Damon getting some brownie points. Love it. And Anthony Lavelle said, I know we were 4-12. Can I hear some Falcon comments?
Who Anthony Lavelle? Who that, Ryan?
I don't know.
It got to be one of your partners because I ain't nobody invite no Falcon fans. Shit. And he stayed on here this long. He don't watch a game this long. Shit.
That's the end of the comments too. Yeah.
That got to be one of your fans. I know he ain't watched the Falcons game that damn long. He'd have been hurt.
Especially that Dallas Falcons
team, right? Just like we beat your team, right? Oops, too soon. Okay.
That Dallas Atlanta game was nice last year.
It's not too soon.
Payback is payback. Remember that, St. Carl.
JC Howell said, rise up, dirty birds. Rise up, dirty birds.
Yeah, Jamal Anderson.
Yeah, these Ryan fans right here. I don't know where Ryan get all these Falcons fans from. Where the hell was they at when it was 28-3? That's the fuck I want to know.
No, you got Dennis.
That's all I want to know.
No,
where the hell
got.
Was they at when it was 28-3? I got to get everybody today, goddamn. It's talking is listen. I'm gonna let Sharon go ahead, Sharon. I'm gonna let you go.
No, I'm just gonna say he wasn't dogging the Falcons. He was just dogging your fans, Ryan. He was dogging your fans.
I know.
But this how we do, Ethan. Mr. E on the mic. This how we do every week.
Oh no, he knows this ain't his first show.
My third time on here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This how we do every week though.
But this Sal first show though. This is Sal first show.
Well, Sal, glad to have you with that green on. That green is pretty. Look like Spartan green. Look like MSU.
He looks like Andrew Luck in a Jets jersey. That's what he looks like.
Oh Lord. And Ron, can we get your questions?
Let's go. Let me put my glasses on. Let's go with the questions.
So ladies and gentlemen, Ron's hot topics.
What NBA superstar you would trust to hit the last shot to win a playoff game?
Damian Lillard.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it.
Ain't no better time.
Most clutch player in the NBA today.
You're talking about
As
today,
long as
right?
the
You're
game
talking
don't
about
really mean
Hey,
anything.
I'm talking about today.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he said a game. He didn't say championship game. He just said a game.
He said playoff game.
Playoff game.
I was like,
Damian Lillard.
You said playoff game.
I think
Playoff,
Lillard's a
same
little
time.
overrated. I mean, I know he obviously sent Russell Westbrook and the boys home, but as far other than that, I mean, when they played Golden State that time in the conference championship, the whole team was a mess. He did nothing. And as far as anything else in his career, he's been just like any of those other guys, like Westbrook.
So who you got then?
Huh?
Who you got?
Well,
See?
I was gonna take my idol, but you know, I don't want to be biased. But I'm not knocking him really, but I'm just saying that I realize that he's a great player, but he's on that next level. He's not on the LeBron level. He's not on KD's level. He's just below that. That's all I'm really saying.
That wasn't the question. It wasn't.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
Last week I didn't get the questions right. I got the questions right. This week I'm getting the questions right.
There you go, Guru. There you go, Guru.
Yeah.
So,
My answer is different than all of y'all's. My answer is not.
Can I
Damian
guess?
Lillard.
Can I guess your answer?
Guess my answer.
Curry?
Nope.
No, she didn't pick a Wardell.
Nope.
Ben Simmons.
Because you said because you said in the playoffs. You said
in the playoffs.
Win the game in the playoffs. I'm going Kevin Durant. Yes, I am.
That's a good one.
That's money.
That's a good one.
Wait a minute, the smooth.
Kevin gonna get that shot. I don't care where it is. It could be from 30. It could be 5, 25.
I'll say
matter
this.
where it is. It could be from any spot on the court. He gonna get that shot. He gonna win that damn game.
I'll say the same thing, but I'll say it about Curry. I mean, proven winner. I gotta do it. I mean, I like Lillard a lot, and he's very exciting. But I'll go with the proven winner. A guy who just dropped 53 points the other night.
I agree. And Stephen Curry is my favorite. My favorite player in the game. And I want to say him too, but he said the playoffs. And see, he has had struggles in the playoffs. He
Right.
has. I have to acknowledge that. I'm not saying that he's been trash in the playoffs. I'm not going to go that far like some people do and say that he's been trash in the playoffs, because he has not. That is not true that he's been trash in the playoffs.
It's a shot
But
at somebody I know.
for him, for as great as he is in the regular
Keep on,
season, as great as he is in the regular season, when he gets to the playoff, his game is not quite on par. So for him, it's a knockdown because he is so great. So, but Kevin Durant is just like, it's just like him rolling out of bed. He gonna get that shot. That's
But-
it. That's all. He gonna
I
get
got a
it.
Can I
bone
add
to
something
pick
to
with
that,
you, Smith Sharon. Sharon, I got a bone to pick with you.
Pick the bone, baby. Pick the bone. Come
Okay.
on.
Now, you obviously know that Curry broke Wilt Chamberlain's scoring record, but I really felt in my feelings that everybody was comparing him to Wilt Chamberlain when he took about 8 seasons
Right.
to score his points, and Wilt did it in like 3.5 or 4 seasons.
All about
And
average.
Wilt averaged 40 points a game lifetime. He averaged 20 points a game. I mean, how could you compare? And now Curry's a great player. He's in the top 20, but Wilt is in the top 5. I mean,
Okay,
and
so
even
I'm
Stephen A.
gonna answer your question.
Go ahead.
Top 5.
The sports outlets, if you look at the average age of the people who run the sports outlets, they're not our age, Damon.
Yeah, but Stephen A. Smith said
And this
that
is
crap
the,
too.
this
And he
I
ain't no- he
understand
ain't no
that, but
youngster.
who's writing his script?
But
His
I don't think
researchers write that. He don't write it.
The mouth
His
that
researchers
roars,
write it.
the mouth that roars usually won't be dictated by the suits. You
I
follow what I'm saying?
understand that. I follow you very well, but hear me out what I'm saying. We're in the social media age. Half the stuff they say don't make sense. And whenever you find one player breaks another person's record, they out of the first story they put out is a comparison. They do it all the time. This is not the first time this happens, not gonna be the last. And for you and I, who know the truth about Wilt Chamberlain and who did our research and who know what we're talking about, it sounds ridiculous to us to even compare for the reasons you stated. But it makes great entertainment and talking about on social media. It gets likes, it gets hashtags, it gets shares. So that's why they do it.
Okay, let me say this. Okay, what about, there's a lot of, I'm older, I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm probably the oldest on the panel, but you younger cats, do you realize, and I just want everybody to speak on, do you realize how dominant and how much better Wilt Chamberlain was than Curry? And do you realize that Curry is not even in the top 10?
Yeah,
I realized that, Sports Guru.
They realize it.
Well, listen.
But a lot of people now, Sports Guru, a lot of people say the lines were different then. There wasn't as many big men playing in the game back then. It was him and Bill Russell and a couple
only
others.
like 12 teams.
Right, it was only a couple teams. People do say that, but for Wilt to have the stat line that he had was still incredible.
It was. I studied
top
Wilt.
5 either.
Wilt Chamberlain was the first basketball NBA player I studied when I started getting into the game. And when I say studied, I mean having to read about, because it wasn't a lot of video on him because of when he played.
Right.
So I studied him, and he was really a freak. He was phenomenal. There'll never be another player like that to do the things that he did, but we can't test it because the game is so different. You see, you can compare some of these other decades, but you can't compare when he played to now, because it was 8 teams in the league and it was nothing like what we see today.
Question for Sharon, question for Damon. Who's your top 3 all-time big men, NBA big men?
I don't even want to answer that, but go ahead, Damon. I'll let you go first. I don't even want to answer because I get butchered. But
only thing I'm gonna say is Wilt Chamberlain was a 2-sport Hall of Famer. A lot of people didn't know that.
Well, it's easy. That's easy. The top 3, and I know you younger guys might put Shaq in there, but I don't put him in there. It's Wilt, and not in any order, but Wilt, Kareem, and Russell. I mean, that's the best 3 of all time. There's no. I mean, look how great Russell was defensively, block shot wise.
Look, he averaged like 12 points a game.
Well, yeah,
Let
and
him
about
finish, Czar. Let him finish.
And
Let
won
him
11
finish.
championships, because that's all, we always talk about Jordan.
Horry won like 6 championships.
How many
Let him finish,
championships?
Czar.
Okay. Czar.
Go ahead, Damon. Go ahead.
No, I love messing with the Czar. Me and Czar.
How you gonna leave Dream out of that, man? Come on,
Dream
man.
I'm gonna be honest.
There.
Well, the question was, you asked Damon
Shaq,
and me.
Shaq,
He asked Damon and me.
That's what I'm asking him. How he can leave Dream out of there?
Dream would be 5. Dream is right behind Shaq.
5. Oh man, that's hurting.
All right, so here's my list. My list. You asked Blaze. You asked the top 3 big men of all.
Yeah,
time,
it doesn't have
right?
to be in order. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3. Just your top 3.
That's fine. Just top 3.
Yeah.
And for me, it's Kareem. It's Wilt, and I'm torn on the third one. I'm torn on the third one. It's probably Bill Russell. I can deal with the same 3. And the only reason why I don't have Shaq, well, in terms of being a center though, Shaq is like the 3rd. But the problem with Shaq is the whole free throw thing. That thing and the fact that he really, wouldn't put. No, it's Shaq. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back on that. It's Shaq. For me, Shaq is my 3rd. But 3rd and 4th are very close. But Dream is not in my top 3, and he'll never be in my top 3.
Is it because that he didn't win?
In a big man.
Is it because he didn't win it until Mike left? Is that
no? It's not even about that. Because see, people put too much emphasis on when they won or how they won. It's not about that. When you ask me about a player and who's the greatest player, I look at the player, and I'm very surgical with my opinion. And it's not always about how many championships they've won, when they won, when the cats away, the mice will play type of deal. That's what Dream had because Jordan wasn't there. But I don't hold that against him. I just look at Dream, and he was a very unique. He had to be one of the most unique big men ever to play the way he did. Shaq was unique, but Shaq was unique in a different way. Dream had his way, Shaq had his way. But to me, Shaq was more dominant. Shaq was the most dominant big man ever. More so than Wilt, he was dominant. And when I say dominant, if Wilt is only playing against maybe 2 other big men in the whole doggone league, of course he's going to be dominant. He's probably 4 or 5 inches taller than the next guy. So that wasn't domination. That was just size and just, almost bullying them on the court. But he's still one of the top 3. But as far as dominance is concerned, Shaq was ridiculously dominant. And I haven't seen anybody like him since. If he would have put his work ethic in, he could have played another 5 years, and he probably would have got at least 1 or 2 more rings wherever he was, because that's what much of a beast he was. So for me, that's it. Dream is not there. He's 5, 6, or 7 for me. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I know in a 2-year span he.
So wait, hold on, King Czar. Hold on.
You don't have to tell me what you know. I know all about his.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
Not you. I was talking to Czar. You don't have to tell me. I'm just gonna ask you this
question here. So is Patrick Ewing better than Hakeem Olajuwon?
No, hell no. And I don't. And see, the only reason, you know what, Dennis, I'm gonna get you. Because the only reason why you saying that is because you know Mr. Hargrove is in here, and you trying to bait him up and get him fired up to get in the argument.
No,
that is
Dennis,
not fair because you're
Dennis,
jealous. You're jealous because Mr. Hargrove is my man and he loved me, and you jealous about that.
That's right. I'm here to break all this shit up. Break that shit up. God damn it.
Big D, let me tell you something. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna show you. There's Patrick Ewing. He's right there. You see him?
I know. I seen him.
DH Groove. Okay, that's my man. But he's not better than Olajuwon. Olajuwon's a better player. The one thing about
I'm
me,
just wondering why you say 5, 6, or 7. I'm trying to figure out who you got.
No, no,
you know,
I don't agree with that.
I don't really know. I don't really know
agree with
where I'm gonna
that.
put him. I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't thought about this question, so that's why I got to think about it. I take time with mine. I don't tend to do. I tend
We'll
not
come
to
back.
do
You know what?
knee-jerk-
That's a next week question.
knee-jerk-
That's a next week question.
I don't tend to do knee-jerk question answering like that. You
All
know
right.
me. I
Well,
take some
Sharon, do me a
time with
favor.
things.
Sharon, do me a favor. Post your top 10 on my show. Your top 10 by Saturday. I want to see your top 10. To go
Your
on my timeline.
top 10 big men.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
Just
top 10.
remind me to do it.
Because I
I'll
don't think you could keep Lies one out of that top 5.
Oh,
I
I
really
can.
don't.
I can do that easily.
Oh,
And
shit.
I got some stats to prove it.
Crazy.
Okay. All right.
My second question. Should Kevin Durant got fined by the NBA for the beef he got with Michael Rappaport?
Oh, I say no.
What do you say, Ethan? Hold on, Ethan. What'd you say, Ethan?
So the question was, should Kevin Durant get fined for beefing with Michael Rappaport on those Instagram DMs and all that fun stuff?
Right. Should he have gotten fined?
Right.
I say no.
It's both on both parties was bad on both sides. One, Michael Rappaport showing the DMs, like exposing private information. You thought it would be one-to-one conversation. It was bad on Michael Rappaport and Kevin Durant saying all that. I'm just tired with both of them. It's like
They're both two little weasels. You know what I'm saying? they're both weasels.
I will say this. Michael Rappaport do this all the time. He go after players, and when they come back and go after him, he cry wolf. I feel like you can't cry wolf if you go after players. Yes or no?
That's fair.
Yeah.
But that's fair. Ron, I agree with that. Although, look, Myers Leonard got thrown out of the league for the type of comments he made.
Right.
So when you're a public figure like they are, you can't say anything you want. If you have certain jobs in this country, people have lost their jobs for what they have said on social media.
Right.
So the fact that now Kevin Durant also got into a little thing where he was talking to somebody else's girlfriend, and the homeboy came up there and said, "You better leave my woman alone." So just because you go into somebody's DM, don't make it private. Okay.
Right.
You may think it's private. It don't necessarily have to be private.
Right.
He should have got fired. He's lucky he didn't get suspended. Let's be honest.
I thought he was going to get suspended after all that, honestly.
I think he got fined with 50,000.
Right. That's the maximum you can get. The maximum you can get as an NBA player.
So, how do y'all feel, Sal?
Well, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I don't think he should have been fined. Yeah, do I think what he said was awful? Yes, but I didn't think it was fine worthy. That's just me.
Okay. Sal?
I don't know if it was worthy of. I think he should have gotten maybe a smaller fine, but I mean, at the same time, like going back on what I think it was what Ethan said, like if you're gonna have these reporters, and I just feel like these days reporters are kind of pushing these players, and they're trying to push these players around. And what he said was awful. And you can't say it, especially as like as a guy who's as highly regarded as Kevin Durant is, a superstar NBA, a guy who represents the league, for sure. But at the same time, it's like, how far do you want to, how much power do you want to give these reporters to the point where they can say whatever they want? But Durant, he's kind of in a position where he can respond. Now, in terms of the language that he used, I think that's fine worthy. But in terms of the idea that Kevin Durant can't respond at all, I think that's not right at all. I think that gives way too much power to the reporters. So yes, I think he should have gotten fined. But I think at the same time, you also have to remember players, all sports can't be letting reporters push them around because it's just gotten way too out of hand at this point.
All right. Ethan?
Just to go back on Sal there, I think he should get fined, but as a lower price, of course. I thought he was going to get suspended because of how, like you said, Miles Leonard, especially when he said
Right.
said that racial slur on Twitch.
Right.
It was Twitch, I think he said it on, and I thought he would get suspended as well. But Miles Leonard was, first off, he was injured. He was out for the year, so of course
Right.
that didn't matter. But for Kevin Durant, I thought he would get suspended a couple of games there because when you hear those things out there, it's like, okay, this player may get suspended for a couple of games, things like that, or maybe a slap on the wrist for the fine. But I don't know. For the fine, I would probably look less, but the suspension, I would have suspended him if I was a commissioner. Especially
Okay.
those comments saying that, because it's wrong for him to say that, especially since he's on a pedestal of
Right.
a good player as well, a great player for Kevin Durant, since everyone has Kevin Durant. Sometimes people have him over LeBron James, things like that, for example. So that's the reason. He's supposed to represent the NBA as well.
Blaze.
I say no because they're direct messages, right? It wasn't like in Twitter, or was it in
No.
Twitter?
No, it was on Instagram.
It like Instagram. It got very
But
personal.
But was it like privately messaged, or was it?
It was private. It was all
was
private.
It was
It was
all
all
private.
private.
It's a DM.
It was never public.
This is why I say no, because like they said, like the reporter, Rappaport, he plays this big tough guy. And then like when someone responds back to him, yeah, he shouldn't respond like that. And then when it does come to light, there should be some consequences. But for the maximum fine to be $50,000, like what is $50,000 to Kevin Durant? Why would I, if I'm the NBA, I would not put a fine on it. I don't want to bring more light to the situation. $50,000 is nothing to Durant. It's like a slap on the wrist. But what you do when you do that is you're putting more media attention to it. NBA finds Kevin Durant, and you're putting it in light. And then Rappaport, he pushes, and then as soon as he gets a response, he goes to his lawyers. Like, you want to act like a big tough New Yorker? You want to have the persona? You got to carry, like, get out of here, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm with him. I'm with
But
Blaze
what
on that.
what does being tough have to do with going after somebody's wife?
My thing.
Okay, wait, hold it.
What does that have to do with that?
no.
Hold it, listen.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about.
I'm just bringing that out.
He did not go after his wife.
You can call me any name you want, but don't talk about my kids, about threatening my kids' life and my wife and all.
But he didn't do that.
Don't do that.
He didn't do that.
Oh,
well,
that's what I heard he did.
I know, and that's what a lot of people did was they read his words and they took it and ran with it. And when they put it out into the social media sphere, they said, "Oh, well, he went after his wife." No, he did not go after his wife.
Okay, so what did he say?
Read what he said.
What did he say?
I can't remember exactly the way
I can't remember what he said. All I remember
Threatening his wife or something like that. That's what
I remember. This is what I remember. Michael kept on pushing Kevin Durant. They kept on. And everybody knows Kevin Durant is soft mentally. So, in my point, why you trying to keep on messing with this dude? And you know he mentally soft. Leave this man alone.
But that's what bullies do.
Right.
When bullies smell blood, they just keep going. I get that. But my issue about the wife thing is he did not threaten his wife. He did not defame his wife.
Right.
He said the word wife in a comment directed to defame him. It had nothing to do with talking down on his wife. You got to go back and read it again. I can't remember because I don't have it up right now. I didn't pull it up.
Okay, it says
when
here,
I read it,
I brought this up. Rappaport did not accept the apology, writing, "Don't ever threaten me or speak on my wife publicly," according to the Daily Mail. What I'm led to believe is that we don't know.
He just used the word wife, Guru. He did not talk about his wife.
No,
you gotta read what he said.
I'm going to tell you what my interpretation of that is that we don't know exactly what Kevin Durant said.
No. We saw. Yes, we do. Because it has the picture of what his words were. You can actually see exactly what he wrote. It's a screenshot of what he wrote.
How can we misconstrue whether he took or he said something derogatory about his wife? He either did it or he didn't do it.
Well, that's what the media does. That's what the media does.
But that's what Michael Rappaport said, and he used it as an excuse to say, "Well, I'm gonna call my lawyer." It's typical. I'm trying to keep
all right.
something, but it's
let me ask something. Damon.
Okay.
Damon,
Well,
if I were to talk about you, if I were to like, say something about your family, something like that, we're gonna square up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna square up. That's the thing about Rappaport. Like, he holds that persona, like, oh, I'm tough, but then he does it on purpose to go get his lawyers involved to try and make the other person look bad.
He
You know what I
went
mean?
and got
Well,
the lawyers
I'm gonna say
involved.
this. I'm
Wait.
from
He went and
New
got the
York.
lawyers involved because Kevin Durant said, "Meet me at this corner and we
Yeah.
can handle it."
Right.
Now,
Okay. First of all,
that's
he
the
know
response I
good and
respect.
doggone well. He know good and well that Kevin Durant was not gonna meet him at a corner and literally get in a fight. And you are a $50 million athlete. You're not gonna do that. But that's what he said. You go
Right.
hard, you're gonna say that. So
well,
then
Blaze,
that's when he decided he's gonna go get his attorney involved. That was just crazy.
first thing I'm gonna say, Blaze, I'm from New York. In New Yorkers, they talk a lot of shit. But the fact of the matter is, if I thought you could kick my ass, then I'm not gonna come and try to fight you.
Right.
That's the first thing. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant was not going to be standing on no corner waiting for Michael Rappaport.
I don't actually consider Kevin Durant a tough
stupid
guy.
for Michael Rappaport to even take that serious.
Somebody spoke about how mentally soft he is, and that's why he's not taking my last shot. That's why I got Lillard taking that last shot.
He's taking my last shot.
But what I'm saying
he a killer on the court. He's going to take my last shot.
But Michael Rappaport been doing this for a long time. This is what he do. He go after the players, and when they say something, I finna call my lawyer.
But he didn't. Hold up, Ron. I agree with most of what you're saying in terms of Rappaport's past demeanor and things that he said. But in this situation, all he said is something that was true about Kevin Durant's character, and it was true. The statement he originally made was very on point.
Right, we all know that, but I just saying, we know Kevin Durant mentally soft.
But one thing about Kevin Durant, let's be honest. Kevin Durant likes to answer Joe Blow on Twitter, or anything that's said about him. He got what they call rabbit ears.
Right.
So anytime somebody says something, he's got to answer it on Twitter. He's got to go at the person. That's Kevin Durant. And when you do that, guess what? You open yourself up to this type of situation.
Right.
LeBron James don't get into these type of situations.
Right. I with you.
Okay.
We ain't talking about LeBron. We ain't talking about
a lot of players don't get in those situations.
Sharon, it's a fact. It
is a fact. You're right.
It quacks like a duck.
Hey, hold on,
Guru.
It's not a mongoose. You got LeBron or Grant Hill?
Let me go to my next question.
With Ron, go ahead with your next question.
What pass rusher you think will get 16 sacks this season coming up?
Dennis, who you think?
There's a couple players I think that could do it. Myles Garrett is one of the ones that come to mind.
That's why I wanted him to go.
The next
Blaze. That's why I wanted him to go, because he gonna Myles Garrett.
Oh yeah, like, come with that BS.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, y'all ain't got to be haters all your life. No, calm down. The next guy I think that could possibly get it. I think Fletcher Cox might get it. I think this might be his big year. He don't need it.
I think he'll get
But Chandler Jones,
he finally got help.
Yeah, and he gonna be fully healthy this year.
So,
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with Garrett too. I mean, when you're talking about 16 sacks, you're talking about like elite level play. And especially Dennis, you mentioned the Browns. I love the Browns defense. Very excited to watch them. It was cool to see them make it 0-16 season, but going back to the question, Myles Garrett, I feel like every time he plays the Jets is good for at least 2 sacks, probably more. So I got to go with Myles Garrett.
Blaze,
I'm gonna go with Chase Young, because he plays them bums in New York. They got a bum offensive line. He plays them bums in Philly. They got a bum offensive line, and then he plays them Dallas mediocre. So I'm gonna go Chase Young.
You heard how he said bums.
Hey, man.
Right. He is Cincinnati.
And I know about bum offensive lines. Trust me.
Hey, man.
Dallas ain't got no bum offensive line. We were just hurt last year.
No, I
we
said
was
y'all
hurt too.
mediocre. That's why I said y'all
Nah,
mediocre.
we ain't mediocre. First of all, I mean, how are we mediocre all of a sudden when they?
Okay.
Damn.
I saw him in the corner, so I wanted to get him
Fired.
spun up again.
I see.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get him spun up again.
Ethan.
No, you
So
said
this is
Damon.
for individual
Yeah,
who
Damon.
gets 16 sacks this season. That's correct.
Right. Right.
Man, I like Dennis's idea with Myles Garrett. I really realistically can see Myles Garrett, but Blaze is not wrong about Chase Young. At the same time, the Giants is not that great. Philly's not that great. Dallas, they were hurt last year. I think they can seal it, but Chase Young still could get Dak Prescott in the end. So I think Chase Young can actually get it more than Myles Garrett.
Damn.
Okay, what's is that kid's name on not Houston on Arizona? Now he's gonna be teamed up with the guy from the Texans. What's his name?
Chandler Jones. Chandler
Oh,
Jones.
Chandler
Yeah.
Jones. Yeah.
That's Bones Jones' brother.
Yeah. That's gonna be a heck of a combo there. So I'd be alert. Other than obviously the obvious one that we just stated, but that's one to watch out for too. But 16 is a lot. That's gonna be hard though. That's a lot.
There's an extra game too, though. There's an extra game.
Yeah, the 17th game. You're right. That will help.
You say me?
Yeah.
So I think finally this dude gonna play a full season. This dude would have been. I mean, this dude gets hurt. I mean, so I'm banking on that. We can't call injury. So I'm going with Bosa, and I'm going with Bosa from the Chargers.
Okay, that's a good one.
He gonna put a season together, and he gonna get 16 sacks. The dude is a monster. He just the injury bug, man. I'm just hoping this year if he play 14, 15, I'm telling you, he getting 16. He last year I think he got like 3 or 4 in one game when he was healthy, but he has the potential to have 3-4 game sacks at a time. That's my pick.
Okay. I think he had 3 week 1 against the Bengals. Yeah, he had 3 sacks against the Bengals. Yeah.
Hey, Sharon, who you got?
Sharon.
I had Chase Young. I had Young and Bosa. Those are the guys on my list. Young and Bosa.
Well, hold up. It was 2 people I forgot to mention. And they used to be on the same team, but now they're on opposite teams. That's TJ Watt and Bud Dupree.
Now, I don't know if TJ Watt can get 16 though.
Yeah, I know you would say that. I know why you now see, I'm gonna tell you why he's saying that. I'm gonna tell you why he's saying that, because he butthurt that he took Taco Charlton over TJ Watt.
Terrible pick. One of Jerry's normally good drafting too, and that was a terrible move, man.
Got to know your draft picks, boy.
Okay, so let me read these comments. Corey Williams said Rappaport almost got beat up by Chris Anderson.
He did.
You remember that?
I told you.
JC Howell said nothing is truly private in today's world. Sharon Cummings said he should get suspended. And Kellen said Jadeveon Clowney 16 sacks.
Please.
Kellen also said Arthur Jones' brother. I guess that's who you were talking about.
Yeah. Chandler Jones, Arthur Jones, and
Does
Bones
Clowney
Jones.
have 16 sacks in his career? Like, I mean,
no. He's never
know.
had more than 9 sacks in a season.
I know he had 0 last year, right?
That TJ Watt though, TJ, I'm thinking he might get 13. 10, anywhere between 10 and 13. I'm not sure about 16.
I agree with that. 10, 11.
I'm not sure about 16. And I could be a homer and say him, but I wanted to.
I know why Sarr said what he said though. Bizarre was butthurt. I know Bizarre was butthurt.
Nah, he's a good player though. He has a lot of different assignments. He just focusing like Bosa. Bosa just get that quarterback every time. Watt's a little more versatile, kind of sometimes different plays do different things. I just don't think he can get 16, but 10, 11, that's still impressive for what he does for that team.
Yeah.
And don't nobody believe in Khalil Mack?
Nah.
I don't think they'll be up enough. Like I don't think they'll be enough.
To be honest with you,
he ain't getting 16.
I don't see him getting 16.
Nah.
The thing about the Bears is they're not gonna be up like a ton of games. I don't think where they could just rush. I mean, he's gonna get in, but he's not gonna have those free sacks from being like up 20, 15
Chicago
points.
need help. They need to bring somebody else in there to help them.
They brought somebody. They brought somebody. His name is Andy Dalton, and he's gonna take him to the promised land, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, Hey,
I
Blaze,
thought-
Blaze.
Yeah, that's funny.
They don't. I see they don't call you Blaze because of speed. They call you Blaze because you just keep it Blaze. It's saying something like that.
Yeah.
You have
Lighten
got
it
to be
up.
spoken.
Now, my next question: do you think everyone in the NBA needs to play all 82 games during the basketball season?
Who you want to go first?
Yeah,
Ron?
you say name. You say name.
Ethan?
All right. This is about to head out soon. Should the NBA player play all 82 games? I say no and yes at the same time, but I'm going more no because you want the player to be good when it comes playoff time at the same time. But I understand the notion of playing all 82 games. We keeps going with the rhythm at the same time for the NBA player. That I agree as well. But sometimes at the same time, like if you have injuries, if you have minor injuries that's been lingering all throughout season, I think you should rest the star. If he has injuries that's been bothering him throughout the season, yes, I will agree on sitting him. But if he doesn't have injuries at all, I'll definitely play them all through all 82 games and then coming to the playoffs, depending on where they're seated.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
I think Ron, you just to clarify, you are talking about barring injury. Should they play all 82
Yeah.
games?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Saw?
I think I think they're healthy. Absolutely, they should. I think it's in their contract to play as many games as they can. That being said, if there's so many so many of these stars have had colossal injuries throughout their careers. George, Kevin Durant, obviously with the Achilles injury. The Achilles injury, especially, is something you have to manage. So I think in terms of giving a star a day off every so often, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that terrible. Especially an Achilles injury, you want to be super careful with that. Let's say you don't want him to re-injure it for sure. Other than that, all these personal days Kyrie Irving's been taking, he took another one. I think today he sat out today's game for personal reasons. I'm not sure why, but that kind of reason, unless it's a serious thing, I think he should be in the lineup. He should be playing.
Okay. Blaze?
I think it's really situational. I mean, we've come to a time where people take a lot of rest in every sport now. Baseball, guys take a day off like every week. Basketball, I would kind of leave it up to the players. I want to know, are you in it to play all 82 games? And if you say yes, then those are the guys I want. Like a guy that I know wants to play every game, Jokic from the Nuggets. That's the guy. They had the shortened season. He worked all off season, never really took a break, and he's out there grinding. Like guys like that, give me guys like that. Will I give you a rest day if you need it? Yes. I mean, I'm more into limiting the minutes. I'd rather you play 82 games and I'll give you a couple games where you play like 15, 20 minutes instead of, just taking the day off. I mean, you got world-class, like medical world-class, everything. So,
Okay.
and making millions. So that's my response.
Sharon?
My opinion is they should play all 82 games. None of this load management, none of this mess. If they have a real injury, then they sit out, they rehab, they come back. You've got fans out here working their behinds off to get money to pay for these doggone tickets to see these players. And they owe it to them. And they need to show up. They need to give 100% every game. They need to stop all this whining and play the doggone game. That's
Okay.
my
Dennis?
I'm with you, Shan, but even if they don't give, and I'm not sitting over here, like trying to help everybody out. But even if they don't give 100%, let's just say they go play the game, and they gave a good 75% effort. I'm not mad at that. But for you to be sitting there with a suit on and you ain't got no injury, yeah, there's ain't nothing wrong with you at all.
Can I counter that?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Dennis. You should not, as a fan, be okay with any player giving you 75% effort on that field or that court. You should not, as a fan. I'm just saying, I know that's your opinion.
You're a Philly fan, though.
Just asking you to think about it. You should not ever settle for a player that will give you 75, 80% effort. They get paid too much money, and these tickets cost too much money. for them to show up and only give 75% effort.
He haven't
No.
had a quarterback.
And to me, it's a character issue if they do. That's my
Okay.
opinion.
I mean, can I add something to that too?
Okay, so if that's the case, then with LaMarcus Aldridge, then it's a character issue.
No, it's all.
I don't know what you mean. In what way?
Because it don't never look like he giving any effort out there, to be honest with you.
Well, you know, but for some reason, these teams keep signing them. There's some reason they keep signing them. I've never been a LaMarcus Aldridge fan, so I'll let somebody else speak on him because anything I say will be based upon the fact I don't like him. So I can't answer that.
I thought he was pretty good in Portland.
Another terrible trade by the Bulls.
He hasn't been right. He hasn't been right since he left Portland.
Right.
He hasn't been right. It wasn't a fit. It's just like Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom was great at the Lakers. They traded him. He wasn't great no more. They should have never traded that dude from the Lakers.
He was pretty good with Miami though.
Same thing with LaMarcus Aldridge. Should have never been traded from Portland. He went downhill from there. He never meshed with the Spurs, never meshed with Pop. And now he's just a shell of himself. He's nothing like he was in Portland.
I just, with the whole San Antonio, I think the scheme in San Antonio.
I think it's San Antonio, period. That's what I think. I think if you wasn't bored up in San Antonio, you don't take or if it's not like your last ride, I don't think it's a good thing for you.
DeMar fit over there though.
Who do?
DeMar.
That's your last ride.
DeMar.
I said DeMar.
Oh, DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, that's his last ride.
That's his last ride.
That's his last ride.
No, he's been over there balling. He's been playing. He ain't on his last ride. He's not maybe going.
I don't know if you could say balling. He was an all-star when he was in Toronto,
and he's still an all-star. He never missed a beat.
He made the all-star game in San Antonio.
I mean, I know his numbers are the same. The West is a little harder to make the all-star team, so I'm not sure. You'd have to look that up. But I know
Michael Conley just made it for the first time. Wow.
I'm just saying, I know he's still putting up about 22, whatever he averaged in Toronto. But to answer the question, you know me, I'm an 80s, 90s cat. I clown this era as much as I can. So, of course, come on, man. Of course they play.
Yeah, man.
Let me say this. I think the NBA
time load management. Hell no.
Let me say this. The NBA has a serious problem with this load management thing. It's one thing, and basketball is my favorite sport, so I'm not being biased. I love that basketball and football and baseball. So that being said, when you have, as Sharon indicated, fans paying their hard-earned money. Now, obviously, because of the pandemic, we don't have a lot of fans in the stadiums these days. But in general, fans pay a lot of money, hard-earned, and a lot of them don't have that money. And they still give what they have to go to these games and support these teams. And these teams make a lot of money off of, whether it be, the gate or whether it be refreshments and all that kind of stuff. So it looks really bad for teams, for guys to be planning to be out one day and then they play the next day because they're playing against a different or better opponent. Like when you're basically conniving to play in certain games, like Durant and all these other players do, it really looks piss poor. And let me say the NBA because all the sports are compared to one another, and baseball and basketball are similar in that sense. But football, everybody plays. There's so much of a value put on each and every game that's what people judge it from. That's what fans judge it from. Oh, football players, they 17 the premium on the game. Now, obviously, it's a lot different, 17 to 82, but still, you're going to have to do something about this because it's just devaluing your regular season more and more. And like I said, I'm older. I don't want to really go to games. I like watching it on TV. But if that's the lifeline of these teams, getting young people to pay, whether it's $50, actually $50 is low, But I mean, the last time I went to the Brooklyn Nets out to the Barclays Center, I spent about $400 or $500 on 2 tickets.
Where was you sitting?
And let me say, my daughter was mad. She's like, "Dad, we usually sit up there in the front." I said, "Well, I didn't have 1,000."
That's the type of stuff my daughter say to me. And where's the French fries? Hold up,
You live
man.
in New York? Damon, you live in New York?
No.
Yeah, I live in Westchester County, White Plains.
Yeah. So you're pretty close to the stadiums, right? Or the
Well, yeah, I'm about 30 minutes from Yankee Stadium, about an hour from the Garden. Obviously the Jets and Giants play in Jersey.
How far are you from? How far are you from the Barclay?
Barclay about an hour 15.
Okay.
But you can kind of pick and choose. Like, okay, like I'm gonna go to this game. I can plan it out. But like someone that lives like maybe like we'll say like 3 hours away, I'm usually plan like, all right, we're gonna go to this game in a month. And how pissed would you be? You bought these tickets a month ago. You spent the $400, and you're like, oh man, these star players ain't gonna play.
LeBron sitting out because of low management. LeBron.
Wait, hold on, not LeBron. Don't be using LeBron.
Oh
shit!
Blew another kneecap.
No. We ain't got that much time left, y'all. Listen, there's only a couple minutes left. I want to listen. First thing, I want to thank Sports in the Big Apple podcast. Matter of fact, tell them your plug and everywhere you at. Go ahead and plug yourself.
I'm available Spotify. I got iHeartRadio. Google Podcast. Link tree in my bio on Instagram at Sports in the Big Apple. So definitely appreciate you having me on, Dennis. This was a lot of fun. And just to piggyback, actually on what Damon said. Madison Square Garden, those tickets are crazy expensive. Whether you're talking about going to a Ranger game or a Knicks game, imagine buying those tickets a month in advance and finding out that certain guys aren't playing. I mean, it would be pretty heartbreaking considering how expensive the Garden's gotten these days. But yeah, Dennis, again, I really appreciate you having me on. It was
no problem, man. Listen, I want you to come on pretty often, so I'll be hitting you up. Just let you know that. E on the mic. Let them know your tags and everything. Plug yourself.
For certain, man. So E on the mic. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm also on the YouTube channel as well, and all listening platforms on audio as well. And you can find me every Friday. I'll post all podcasts is there, and I do skits and I do all other stuff too as well on my social media platform.
Okay. All right. Blaze, what's going on, man?
Blaze. Well, I don't got no ats except for my name, first name Blaze, middle name Thunder. Easy to remember. You can find me anywhere like that. I'm Blaze Thunder. I'm a Bengals fan. And that's it. I'm out.
Head down. That's how we like them.
All right. Yeah. Sports Guru. Tell them your plugs and everywhere they can find you, Sports Guru.
Hey, first of all, thanks to you, Dennis, man. You just put a hell of a show together, my brother. You and Ron and Sharon and all of y'all. You did a great job. And Thank you. That's the first thing I want to say. Second, you can catch me, obviously, here Tuesdays, on Saturdays, Sports Guru, a.k.a. Sports Guru Live, which comes on 10 o'clock on Facebook. And Damon Hargrove, just friend me or follow me. And then we also have for you lovers out there, the musical storm, Soft and Warm, just about all night long, mostly R&B music that comes on immediately following. And then you can catch me on YouTube at Sports Guru, a.k.a. DH Grove. So we'll be putting out some new stuff there. And once again, thank you to all you brothers and sisters out here. Everybody did a great job, man. It's just a pleasure just being a part of this family.
All right. King Czar, tell me how it's going, King Czar.
Man, another great show in the books. It's what we do daily. And, it's a regular thing these days. It's family. We just, trying to give them what they want and keep on bringing the facts and the knowledge. And, yeah, another great show, man. Much obliged.
All right. Miss Chocolate Girl, just let everybody know where to find you at.
This was a great show, fellas. Thank you to the guests for coming on. You can find me. I am also known as a chocolate writer. You can find me as chocolate writer across all platforms. You can follow my podcast. Did you hear what Chocolate said? I'm on Spotify. I'm on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and a few others, Breaker and somewhere else. You can also go to Anchor and watch my podcast on Anchor as well, anchor.com. I think that's what the website is. I put my Spotify link in the chat. So thank you guys for having me on here today. It's been fun.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
this is Ron Thomas. You tell him about yourself.
The Flyer High Podcast be back Saturday. And we're going to break down the whole draft and just talk about different stuff going on with the team. And thank you to the fans of the Rise Up. And without y'all, we would not be doing this. So
That's right. That's great.
Right.
And, I am your host, your co-host. So, we've got plenty of hosts. I'm your co-host, Dennis Holmes. Ignorant Thinker Podcast. Go subscribe on all platforms. Make sure y'all tune into the Rise of Sports family. This has been Talk US Tuesday. God bless. Good night.
Hey, peace.